Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it looks like I have a fireplace in the studio, but you're looking at the Warm Living Infrared Fireplace Stove Heater. I love this. It's so vintage. It's so, there's a bit of nostalgia here. Beautiful piece of furniture, but it warms a big room. It warms your heart. I bought this for my dad. He's cold-natured. He has this in his bedroom right now. Love it for him because if it tips over, it's very, very safe. It just shuts off. You guys, it is $27.40 to get this home, and it's free shipping. It's a huge customer pick. Carrie McNeely is here, and I was just saying, okay, I bought my dad one during the holidays several years ago.
Sure.
This is the latest for 2023.
Yeah, this is the best technology in 2023. Absolutely, this is heating at the next level. So when we were kids, right? You had a space heater. It looked like a ray gun from a bad 1950s black and white sci-fi movie. You'd turn it on, it would make some noise. It would be weird, it would smell. That's not what we're doing here today. This is subcutaneous heating from the inside out. Infrared heating technology heats objects in the room without drying out the air. The second you turn on the oil, the gas, or forced air, it immediately dries out all the air. Dries out all the air, your sinuses, your eyes, all that. That's not gonna happen here. You mentioned the safety features. If this thing were to overheat, it shuts itself off. If it were to fall forward, left, right, backwards, it would shut itself off. It has basically a pendulum kill switch, so it would shut off before it actually hit the ground. That's super important. When we talk about something that weighs less than 11 pounds, it has a very small footprint. It's only 21 inches tall, 17 inches wide, and 10 inches deep, Debbie.
I want one.
This heats a space of up to 466 square feet. Let me say that again. Up to 466 square feet, you can increase the temperature in that room by 3 degrees in less than 3 hours. That's analogous to the size of a 2-car garage. So when we talk about the living room, kitchen area, or any master bedroom and bathroom suite, you can heat it with this Warm Living Stove fireplace. Now, you can use this year-round because the flame effect, which is the same they use in Hollywood. If you're watching a streaming service and you're binging and you know they're at that little bed and breakfast, and that's not a real fireplace back there. That's Hollywood special effects. That's the same technology that's built into this unit. There are 4 levels of the heat effect, and you can use them with or without the heat. That's the beauty of it.
That is.
Here's where the heat emanates from.
It's so pretty.
There are 3 infrared heating bulbs. And so what happens is from the back, I don't know if we have this animation, but it pulls the cold air in from the back. It moves up, over, and around those 3 quartz infrared heating elements, and then gently pushes that warm air out into the room. And I want everybody at home tonight, Saturday night, we're live from the studios here at HSN, to take the Zone Heating Challenge. I want you to try this. I want you to get this home and turn the thermostat way down in your home, your co-op, your apartment, whatever you have. Turn it down to a temperature that you might think would be uncomfortable. Let's say 66, 68, something like that. Then turn this to the temperature that you want it to be. Let's say that's 72, 73, 74. Guess what? The room that you're in will be 72, 73, 74. It will be exactly the temperature that you want it to be and what you deserve it to be. And that will end up saving you, a small fortune, maybe even paying for itself in just one season.
Well, I love it. I got it for my dad, and I always tell them, you guys need to downsize. I still live in the same house that I grew up in. And it's pretty big 4 bedrooms, and my dad gets cold, and so I had to get this for him. And you guys, it is so wonderful. We worry about our parents, like with space heaters, because they start fires and all of that. You have to be very, very careful. This is very, very safe, and it's very beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of furniture, and I think it looks vintage. And it's the ambiance. It's so relaxing, but it's serving a purpose. If you know somebody who gets cold easily, and let's just, look at where it's cold right now. Get this right now, and before we get really good into winter, because there are a lot of cold folks right now. In Detroit, it's 46 degrees. Salt Lake City, it's 44 degrees. Denver, Colorado, 41. Spokane, Washington, 40 degrees. Cedar City, 38 degrees. Cheyenne, Wyoming, 36 degrees. Bozeman, 33. Idaho Falls, 30. You guys, the fact that this will heat a room that's over 400 feet, for some people, like in New York, that's a small studio apartment.
Oh, I had at least 6 apartments in New York City that were less than 600 500 square feet, the whole place. It's the old joke, you know, I had to go out into the hallway to change my mind because it was so small. But it's so true. This is a very powerful piece of technology. It looks and feels absolutely like an old-timey, you know, ironclad, you know, potbelly stove. If you go to Pinterest or any one of those social media posting sites, you're going to see not 100 or 1,000, but tens of thousands of potbelly stoves. They're thousands of dollars to install. You have to get a permit. You have to get a chimney. The whole thing is great and it's wonderful. The other challenge, though, unfortunately, with potbelly stoves is the second you turn them on, you can't turn them off.
Right.
Which means you cannot turn them down. I've been at least 5 cabins, and I, you know, as a former Marine and a Boy Scout, like I'll build a fire. I'm going to build a big fire. We're going to have a great fire, and it's going to warm the whole cabin. And the next thing you know, you're opening the windows, going, "Oh my gosh, it's too hot in here." Right. This again with the remote control or the large LED display, which means you don't need your readers to operate it. You set this to exactly the temperature that you want, and that's exactly the temperature that it's going to be in your room. You mentioned, you know, our parents are getting older. My dad's part of the greatest generation, and he and his wife, my stepmom, they're going into assisted living.
Okay.
And they shared to me, oh, we're really excited about taking the heater with us because they're deciding on what they take and what they sell or what they gift out. Right. And I said, why is that, Daddy? He goes, because we really don't control the heat in the building. Right. That's kind of done by, you know, the whole company, the whole facility. And so if you have somebody that's in assisted living, send this to them. If you've got somebody, like you said before, that's always cold, send this to them. If you have a room that you typically shut off in the wintertime, maybe it's your music room. Maybe it's too cold to go in there and play the piano the way you want to. Or it's a man cave or a she shed, or it's a, you know, a basement that you don't go down to in the wintertime. Take a look at this, Deb. This is a floor plan of an average home, right? If you look at that living room area, that's 418 square feet. This heater, and it's a heater first and foremost, the technology in this heater is going to heat a space up to 466 square feet, 3 full degrees in less than 3 hours. So typically your living room, kitchen area, your big master, you know, bedroom suite with the actual bedroom and the bathroom, it's going to take care of that in no time. I always like to use the analogy of a 2-car garage, and you don't have to get out of bed, you don't have to get out of the chair, and it has a timer. So it has safety features like if it tips over or overheats, it'll shut off. It also has a child safety lock on it.
Love it.
And with a 12-hour timer on it, let's say you like to get up at, say, 7 a.m.
Sure.
But you want to keep the temperature down to save money. Right. And you've got, you know, covers on, and you're going to be cozy, and you like it cool in the room. Right. So you set the temperature in the house to like 65 degrees or something, 66 degrees. So it's really chilly. Set the timer to turn on like a half an hour before you wake up. How about that? You're gonna get up at 7 a.m., have this turn on every morning at 6:30. When you wake up, it's gonna be toasty warm. The kids won't be complaining about getting out of bed and getting ready for school and getting on the bus. It'll be nice and warm. Conversely, if you come home, let's say you come home at 5 o'clock every day or whatever the time is, everybody's different now, have this turn on a half an hour before you come home.
Absolutely.
So you have all the technology, all the versatility, all the warmth, all the comfort, and it's just absolutely stunning.
And the beautiful colors, you guys. I want to take you through the colors. Again, we have the black that you're seeing right there. It's been by far the most popular. I also have it for you in this beautiful taupe. And remember, I can touch this. This is not warm. It releases the heat, but you touch this, and I love that safety feature that it's not hot. I have it in the blue, and it's a beautiful blue. It's kind of like a French blue.
Yes.
I have it in the red, beautiful
This is
red.
my baby right here.
I know, and it's not too bright. It's a nice, subtle.
Matte red.
It's a matte red.
Yeah.
The black right in front, the most popular. Right next to that, I have the gray, and I also have the white. I got the black for my dad. You guys, this is normally $15 to ship because it weighs 10.5 pounds, 10.5 pounds. It's not $15 to ship today. It is free shipping. So if you've been thinking about this, get it. The ambiance that it creates is just beautiful. It's like you have a fireplace and maybe you don't have one. This is your fireplace. It is going to help you save on your bill because it can heat more than 400 feet in a room. And so maybe you do spot heating. Maybe you just want your bedroom to be warm. Maybe you just want the living room to be warm because you moved to the living room. At 10 pounds, you can move it around. Maybe you want the den because you guys are down there watching the football game on Sunday. Huge, huge customer pick. My dad loves it because he can control the temperature. He doesn't have to get out of bed. He uses the remote.
Yep.
It's easy. It's cozy.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful.
Same with my dad. My dad's part of the greatest generation. He's in his 90s. He served in World War II in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
And he has a study, and he's a retired social studies teacher. So he reads about a book every month, at least a book a month.
That's what keeps his mind sharp.
Exactly. And he's got this big chair, lazy boy chair, and he's got his cat Mookie. He sits on his lap, and he loves it. And when every time of year we get into the fall, we bring back a new state-of-the-art warm living heater, and he says, "Curry, I'd be happy to come on the air and do a testimonial." I'm like, "Dad, we're good."
Does he have your voice?
I appreciate that. He's much deeper voice, much more professorial. But yeah, I think if you give this as a gift, especially to somebody that's older, they're going to love it. How about a college student that's in a dorm that's made out of cinder block, and again, they can't control the heat in their particular unit, or assisted living? Maybe you know somebody that's in a walk-up, an older apartment in Chicago or New York or St. Louis, someplace up there that's cold, Michigan, and they can't really control the heat because that's controlled by the superintendent of the building. This is a great gift that keeps on giving, and as I mentioned before, this is state-of-the-art technology. This is the same technology that you see when you're watching a movie or you're streaming your favorite show and there's a fireplace in the background. Obviously, that's not a real fireplace. This is that same Hollywood technology that looks and feels like a real fireplace. And you have something with state-of-the-art technology. Infrared heats you the way the safe rays of the sun heat you in the middle of winter. You step out of the shade and into the sun, and you're warmed subcutaneously from the inside out. And it will never, ever, ever dry out the air in the room that the heater is in. So if oftentimes in the wintertime, you know, your eyes are dry, your sinuses are dry, your throat is really dry, that's probably because the oil, the gas, or the electric forced air heat is taking that relative humidity right out of the air the second you turn it on. Infrared technology does not do that. It heats objects in the room instead of the actual air.
I love that. And you guys read their customer reviews on this. It's a huge customer pick. First of all, they talk about how beautiful it is. They like the fact that you can have the flame on during the winter, and you can have the flame, you don't have to have the heat on. You can enjoy the flame without the heat. And so it gives you that option of just the coziness when you want just that fireplace ambiance. And you can heat this with a thermostat, so you don't have to get up and turn any knobs. It'll go from 50 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can decide if I just want to knock the chill out of the air or if I really need to warm up quickly. I got this for my dad because he's always cold. It's very cozy, and it's something that you have until January the 31st to think about. If you want to get this home, we're going to ship it. It's free of charge. It's guilt-free to try it. It is normally $15 to ship this. We've waived the shipping fee. And the black is the most popular, but we have the white, we have the gray, the black, the red, blue, and taupe. And I love that I used to be a former news reporter. I told you that. And we used to, you too.
Yeah.
And the thing I used to hate the worst is to hear about these space heater fires.